got way too much bad stuff.
Too much. Okay.
We can't do that editing.
Clean her
it's not.
down.
We're recording this on a phone. Editing is not the greatest thing to do.
That's not what we're shooting for here. Unedited's where it's at.
And also, I know I have a cutoff on today.
Oh yeah.
Pretty jacked.
Oh,
but
God.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 9th episode.
He's been doing this for 9 episodes already.
I'm saying 9.
Isaiah, can you look? I don't know. I think we're 8, 9, something like that. But welcome back. 8th, welcome back.
9th if you count a 12-second draft that is unposted for some reason.
You have that?
It's right here.
Let me see that. Let me see that.
Why?
Okay, so, all right, first we'll get into this after. Welcome back. Today is April 25th. We got a new guest here, Devin.
Trey.
Luke.
Isaiah.
Luke's new here. He's also a good friend of ours. But this draft, Jacob was sitting in the trainer's room, and this is when it was just him, and I went, and he was, like, getting treatment on his leg, so he couldn't move. He was just laying there. I turn off the lights, and I close the door, so it's pitch black in there, and he goes, wait. I say, it's pitch black. And then he pulls out, and then I came back in, and he told me, while you were out, I filmed a little recording on the podcast app, and I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, it was just me asking for help. And I was like, can you see that? And I'm like, no, I can't. Oh, no, this isn't it. This is the one right now. But he told me he didn't have good connection, so he didn't know if it saved. But he filmed it, and it was just him going in here. I'm sitting in the dark in the trainer's room. Please help. He told me he recorded that. It was so funny. But no, that's the draft. That's right now that we're doing. So
That's a good idea. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
what? Sit in the trainer's room in the
Walk
dark?
into the training. He does it every day, and I'm going to be stuck in there too, but I can walk at least.
That's how we get content.
Content.
Yeah, so Jacob isn't here today. Another thing, Jacob, if you're listening to this, literally this past week, Jacob was like talking about all this smack about how much he talks on the podcast, and it's his podcast. He starts it and finishes it every time. And I'm like, whoa. Sherm, if you're listening to this right now, this is me. I started this one, so screw you.
Kids, round of applause for this.
I was texting him last night when he told me he was sick last night,
Yeah,
and he said he probably wasn't.
that's why he's not going to be here. He's pretty sick. So.
Yeah. So I was talking to him last night, and he said, at this point, it is undeniable, Devin. You have been the only one here throughout all so
every
far.
single one.
7 and
Basically the king.
6 episode. You are the official host.
I've been
That
the
is
only one that's been
official.
on every single
I don't
one.
know
We agreed. It is undeniable.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. It just means Devin has nothing better to do with his life than coming
No, it's
here.
his way of getting out of chores. We've been over this.
Yeah. My parents like the podcast. I can get out of
it's
stuff
a
by saying I gotta go do this.
Idea.
Devin, we're tiling the roof today. Nah, I got the podcast.
Yeah.
See down here scrolling through.
We're filming a 5-hour podcast.
You got your
today.
cousin's funeral today. I got the podcast.
The show must go on.
Come on, we can't just miss a week.
No, we can't, even though technically we did last week.
Hey, they didn't.
But
They don't.
We
know
had
that.
one on Wednesday, didn't we?
You guys
But we had
twice.
one on Wednesday
Yeah.
because me and Shroom did double.
Yeah, we posted
and
that.
then we were like, no, you know what? Like, this was last week. We did it last Wednesday. And we were like, okay, we'll probably even do another one this Sunday. Just because, we're down, we're on a roll. We'll just keep it going, boys, just more content.
Just keep it rolling.
Sunday
And
comes
then,
around.
nope, we
No.
He's gone.
No one
at
wants
all.
to on a Sunday. So we didn't.
What else is there to do?
That's all right. We did get one pumped out. You guys went ham last 2 weekends ago.
We did. We talked for a while. I didn't really want to. I wanted, because I just woke up again, I think, before the podcast. And I was like, I want to do this. We get here, Sherm started talking. We started talking. It was a good convo. And then
Convo?
he's like, oh, let's do another one. We got more to talk about. I'm like, all right, I guess. We hit it. It was good, though. It was fun.
I don't know where that man pulls out his topics from.
But
He's got a big old bag of
Yeah.
random.
Things he's thinking about.
Oh, it's wild.
Wild.
Well, a topic that we'll have to save for another time when he's here because he gets really excited about it. When we were biking for track for like the therapy or whatever, and it was I swear it was just like silent. Like we had a conversation and it stopped, and within like 15 seconds it was a little quiet, and then he's like looking down. He's like, "Do you think What is the probability if you drop 200 people on an empty planet that they would be able to reproduce to 1 million?
What?
200
What?
people.
I just want a bike.
Play some music and let's just go about our.
Why?
Go about our time.
Jacob is the king of saying the most random things and the dummest jokes, and then
He's the comment king.
yeah, he just
Comment
That's what
king.
he's.
he'll
He's
say
the comment
he'll
king.
say the stupidest joke or the
People on
dumbest comment
TikTok
or ask weird
videos.
questions, and he'll just look at you and he'll do that one dumb smile,
Yeah.
like waiting for your approval or something. You say something back, and it's like, what do you want me to say to that, Jacob? I don't understand. Like,
How do you start a conversation that way?
It's like when he made that TikTok and he was so proud.
yes,
He was so
yes,
proud
it was
of
so bad.
It was the stupidest thing that ever seen in my life. All of us were like, "What are you doing? No, you're not doing that." And he's like, "I'm gonna post this
Yeah.
tweet so much."
I thought he was messing around for a while, but he actually posted it. I was yelling at it for like a week, like, Sherm, that is so dumb. Take it down. There's no point. And he's like, nah, dude, it's cool.
He set up his phone.
and, then,
dropped
and
it.
then he would keep bragging, 150 views so
150
far. Like,
views?
in TikTok, that is nothing. I'm like,
I
how
think
many
it's a
likes?
good
And he goes, 8 likes.
8.
And then like a week later, he goes, it's got 9 likes now. I was just, I think it's still up.
He's looking.
I think it's still up.
Yeah.
I'm checking.
The one time I
that
made my
plays.
other TikTok account, I think I got like 800 views and like
Yeah.
150 likes in like a few hours.
I got it pulled up. Over
Let me
Yeah,
switch my
just-
Yeah,
accounts.
it's still up.
152 views, 9
Who's the
likes.
comment?
really
Was
say-
it me?
It's Evan Eilerman.
Oh, yeah.
8 likes.
Evan Eilerman.
Forget that melody?
It's deep.
It makes no sense.
He was so proud
bad.
of it.
He didn't even do it right, too, is the thing.
It didn't even go in.
If you haven't seen our TikTok, if you haven't seen our TikToks, then good, stay away.
Get away from the
We'll
TikTok.
tell you when to go and follow it.
When Jacob has his mind and maybe we take control of it. That was a dumb decision, giving Jacob the reins of the TikTok.
Of the
It's
TikTok?
like, I'll
I
handle
can
the
just delete it right
Instagram.
now.
Just do it.
I have to log.
Do it,
I'm
do
logging
it,
in.
do it.
I don't know how to
Delete.
delete
Don't delete
it.
it. I just commented on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Wow, it's got one comment.
It's got 2.
Oh.
I responded.
I thought he would be a good hit that.
Yeah.
I thought no, probably not. But I thought he would be a good mind and person behind the TikTok account.
No,
He's
wrong.
he's
Nice, not
vigorous.
Not so,
I'll give him
he
that.
is.
Bro, you know what
But-
we need to ask? We need to ask Alan Holtheide.
Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah, we have been talking about that.
Alan's got a lot of followers.
We just
Marketing king.
We just need a pet fox. That's all we need.
A pet
Yeah.
fox.
And a Tesla.
And
That's
a
all we
Tesla.
need.
That's
Up
it.
to
I
afford
think
anybody?
I can afford a
Yeah.
Tesla. Oh my gosh.
That's some big
Some of those
PR. That's
pictures
for
I-
later.
Some of the pictures you took actually look pretty cool that he posted. Like I thought they wouldn't turn out that good, but the ones. Did you guys see his Snapchat story? Do you guys have him on Snapchat?
I do have him on
I don't have
Snapchat. I
him
don't
on
remember when
He-
he posted them.
That's why he came to me on whatever Saturday. Took a bunch of pictures. They're actually pretty cool.
Oh, I did see him with a camera.
Like they're like action
Yeah,
shots.
he recently got a new camera.
So they're like action. He took it all off.
That's stupid.
But some of them were cool. Like there was one of like Gavin going over the hurdles and like Abby
That
at the
is
start
nice.
line, and it was like in the moment and like action, like
Yeah,
where they're
he-
just focused.
Well, he's rolling with so much dough. He's got money to.
Yeah, he got it.
spend.
He got a nice camera.
He got a
Yeah.
job. He got a job as an engineer just because he was bored. Like,
Yeah, he told me about
That's-
that because he day trades.
He day
He has his own
trade.
clothing brand. He
Yeah.
obviously does like TikTok and a
his
few
TikTok,
other
yeah.
social media stuff. And he's like, I was just getting bored, so I just got a day job. So he just works his
I heard he
normal
washed his
8-hour
car 4 times in one day.
probably
Once. Because for TikToks mostly,
Yeah.
but
if Luke's saying that, you know it's
that's a lot. Like, I like washing my car, I like keeping it clean. It's really filthy right now, so don't judge me. But like, if you wash your car more than once in a day, like that's a lot.
yeah.
I'll give it to him. It looks good.
It looks good, but still, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of washing.
Wait, did you ride like the stationary bikes when you were injured, or like ellipticos? I'm guessing stationary.
Station. You think Premier would let us touch an elliptical on track?
Dude, the ellipticos are fun.
There's no way.
Honestly, the most fun I've ever had in cross country was riding the elliptico.
So
Yes,
weird.
the
With
day
joint
after
injuries.
you're like, I wish I was injured so I could ride the elliptical. I hurt my ankle.
It was like a Thursday, and we were talking because Jordan Drees was injured because of the car crash, so he always rode ellipticos and stuff. I'm like, wow, by I'm a senior, my dream is to ride the elliptico, and that's like you're injured kind of, next week I inflamed my tendon in my foot and couldn't run for like 3 weeks. And so then all of them were giving me so much crap for that. They're like, oh yeah, real convenient timing right now.
Where do you live to go?
I remember I texted the cross country group chat after I went to the doctor for it. I remember calling Gas and just like BS. Like he's just like, no, that's cap.
No.
You're not allowed to get injured. No, it just doesn't happen.
It wasn't too bad, and then you played Foursquare. Like one round, you played Foursquare, and it was all downhill from there.
It was so funny.
I remember that. That was hilarious. But no, yeah, we were on the stationaries inside, and it was hot and sweaty and miserable. And he decided to ask me those kind of questions.
I could just see that. You're just sitting there, head
Just
down,
like,
pedaling.
That's way different. It'd be like me
Hey,
and George
Isaiah.
Reese on the hills out by White Oaks, just seeing who could go faster. Him on a bike or me on the elliptical standing up.
Oh my
That is-
gosh.
That is so fun.
Ellipticals are just so weird. It just looks weird. It looks so
It is
awkward to
weird.
do. I don't know.
I
There-
like the
don't
ellipticals. I didn't get to use one when I was injured.
Why are you even injured then?
There were two other people, and there were two other people who were,
More
I guess,
injured.
more injured than I was. So I got stuck with a lame old bike.
They out
Regular
Yeah.
bike.
I had to go out anyways.
Well, we got 2 of them now, don't we?
We do have 2 of them now.
Let's go.
It must cost
Gotta
quite a
step
bit to
up.
only have 2.
They're up.
Oh, I bet
They're
they
up
do.
in they're up in coach's classroom.
Yeah, I
Sitting
saw,
up on the
I
side.
saw the
with
second
little-
one down when we went in.
Yep. I see him every day. Twice a day.
Him and his monotone history class.
Dude, I like his class.
I did too. I liked him in AP
Yeah.
more than anything.
A lot of people said it, yeah.
The one time
I think it was.
Yeah, the one time I was so close. I probably did fall asleep, but I don't remember it. But I thought I was close to falling asleep. It was in AP, and we were watching a video of 2 teachers who were like I guess like nominated by the College Board AP.
Oh.
So
one of those things.
talk and give people advice about the test, because we had the upcoming test in a week. But they were trying so hard to keep everybody entertained, and they were failing so bad at it. It was almost embarrassing. Like, the only reason I stayed awake for 45 minutes of it was that it was so cringy.
Yeah.
I couldn't not listen to it. But after some point, it got I just couldn't. They were talking about directions. It was half a page of directions. I couldn't listen to that. They were just reading it off.
Oh.
No, but that
Nap
was
time.
that was the one time I did almost fall
I
asleep.
don't know if you were in my class freshman year, but I remember a person in our class fell asleep standing up. He fell asleep, so Mr. Pranger made him stand up so he wouldn't fall asleep, and he fell asleep standing up.
At the stand-up desk or just
No,
standing?
like just
Just
standing,
standing
like
up.
standing up,
Standing.
like right next to his
Wow.
desk. He just fell asleep again.
There's,
I can never fall asleep.
there's
in
a
that
few
class.
stories of people falling asleep in his class.
So many people fell asleep. So what we did was we were splitting with the grade above us, and there would be at least 4 or 5 people sleeping in class. And Evan was one of those people sleeping in class, and he was just Mr. Pranger picked on him out of everybody in the room and just slapped in front of him with a book. I was like, I was also just about there, and he was just like, "Oh, why? Why'd you pick Evan out of everybody? You have sophomores you could pick on. No, he picked on Evan.
Yeah.
Sleeping in class is such a scary thing.
It really is. You're living on edge,
It's
but it's nice.
terrifying.
It's kind of
It is.
restful though.
Unless it's third period where it's just late enough into the day that it's nah, it's definitely not for me being tired from waking up. I'm just ready to end the day already.
Just
But you have 3-4 other classes after that.
It's 10 in the morning, and you're like,
oh,
you know what sounds
no,
good? Sleep again
No.
all day.
I can't remember. I fell asleep once in class for a whole day. 2 years. It was freshman year. It was because I was sick. I didn't realize. I was the onset of the flu, when you're just exhausted.
You just feel tired.
You're not sneezing, you're not
still
sniffling or
going for
anything.
it.
You're just exhausted. Fell asleep once a class for each of my classes all day, and one of it lasted a half an hour. Never got caught. I woke up. Someone asked me a question, in class. It was physics.
Oh,
So I got a question asked, and I'm like, all right, what's the class about? Today, what are we learning? Something about atoms, probably. I'm like, the speed that atoms move. And she's like, we're talking about, dogs. Oh, no.
Oh no!
Apparently, it was the end of class, and we were done learning.
That sounds,
I didn't know that.
That sounds exactly like, I don't even, Luke Regula in you were in our science class, weren't you, freshman year?
Yes.
With Miss Smithmeyer?
Yes, I was. It
Oh
was
my
the best
God.
class ever.
That was
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was that class was so bad, but it was so fun just for the people there. Because it was me, and it was like Ethan, Colton, and Luke Regula. Luke Regula never paid attention, never did his homework. So we do like labs at the table, and me, Colton, and Ethan, all the same grade, all like whatever it is. They were like, "Oh, Luke, what did you get?" "Oh, like a 62. Like, how you got it? We worked on it together. You open his paper, it's like, what is this element and name, or like, why is it this, or whatever. He's like, element A is phosphorus or something, and that's all he'd put. It's like an entire like paragraph you have to write. You just write one sentence. We're like, all right, Luke, never. You can't even.
I felt that with her
She
classes were
asked him
hard though.
something. She asked him something towards the end of the year. I can't remember what the question was exactly, but it's like, oh, if you ever. No, I remember what it was. If you find a $10 bill on the ground, are you gonna pick it up and like keep it, or are you gonna try to find someone else? He's like, I'd probably just leave it.
No, she's like, what? It's like, depends on the day.
Oh yeah, he's like, would you pick it up and try to find the person, or would you keep it? Depends on the day. You wouldn't just keep it for yourself. He's like, maybe.
Maybe.
Like,
Probably.
he'd sit there, wouldn't be paying attention.
His
at all.
indifference in that class was legendary.
He got called on one time. Paper's not even out. We're halfway through this review. Paper's not even out. He's just sitting there. He's like, oh, what? Colton Gasson grabs his folder, like Luke's folder, grabs out the paper, flips it to the right question, just points at it for him. Luke's like, oh, see? She's like, nope, that's not right. Calls on a different person.
Oh,
The only person who might have given her more sass than Luke would be Michael Garrett. He was just so ridiculously
I don't know.
like he gave a lot.
that's
Like, have you heard of the Let's
debatable.
Get Him story? Okay, so this was chemistry, okay?
Okay.
And it was just one random day. This was like right before, he had his whole thing with he was consuming too much caffeine and his
All the monster
anal
and
cavity was
all the Bang.
inflamed. And he never didn't drink Bang, but kickstarts, whatever, everything. And he was just like one day he was like, "Hey, Miss Smithmeyer, have you is it Let's Get Him?" She's like, "What?"
That was perfect.
the classic.
What?
What?
Let's Get Him. She's like, "What's that?" "Oh, it's that one element. I think it's like LG." It's like, oh. She's like, "No, I haven't heard of it." He's like, "Oh man, Let's Get Him. It's such a great element." This lasted for maybe 5 minutes before he could not contain himself. He was just beside himself. It was
Let's get him.
Let's Get Him. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's
I did not give a
amazing.
crap about that class though either. Chemistry was such a waste of my time.
I know the worst class had to be definitely the class after us that year, the seniors, whatever class, AP Physics, AP Bio, whatever, with like Joe Ballas,
Oh,
Mitchell,
I know exactly
Mitchell
what you're talking
Burning.
about. Yeah.
Oh my
They
God,
would come in after us, and they'd already.
we'd come in after them.
They'd still
Yeah.
be
Oh,
there.
We
you're
came
right.
after
You're
them.
right. We'd come in. Yeah, it's because they looked like they didn't have a will to live
Yeah.
after every single class.
And
single
the things
time.
I've heard about, like what Mitchell Burning did in that class, were like he drank 2 Monsters, still fell asleep in his
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
Like they had to take a test or something. Said he was out sleeping in his car
Yeah.
or whatever. Just
I
like-
remember that because they called it over
yeah.
the PA speaker. And then because they didn't know where he was, and found out he was sleeping in his car.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
I have the AP Calc test coming up soon, and we took a practice test. So what we do is we obviously had to do all of our lessons, and then we usually complete it like a month before the test, and then up till then it's just review. So at the beginning of our like review month or whatever, we took a practice test, and I took the practice test, and I got like a 3. And obviously, like you have to get a 3, 4, or 5 to pass.
Yeah.
But the like grades, it's not a percentage. It's based on like everyone else in the country.
Mhm.
So like depending, as long as you're smarter than 40% or you get above average, then you pass. But I got a 4 my first time, so I passed, and I was like, I'm chilling. So far, I have not paid any attention. I barely do
chilling.
the homeworks. I just circle. I write scribbles. I don't even think. I'm just not even worried about it. I'm like, I passed the first time, and it's gonna bite me. I
Welcome
feel.
to senioritis.
It seemed pretty easy. Like, to be honest, I'm like, I could easily pass this. As long as the other test is similar to this, it's easy.
That's how it is in our AP Gov. It's so cake.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten to the
Like,
point.
it's hard, but it's easy to pass.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of hard questions, but you don't have to get that many to pass.
Yeah, it's gotten. Yeah, he's he's not even trying to like do a specific like honing in on like topics or anything. We have like a broad understanding of each thing, just enough that we'll be able to get above average, or well, most of us. But we're doing nothing in this class. We'll get there and he's like, "You guys want to watch a video today, or do you want to play like heads up with note card terms?" And we're like, "All right, we'll do heads up with note card terms, I guess." Half the class will be talking about track or softball or football. And then we'll put one up, and then someone will get like stuck on it because, of course, it'll be like the weirdest term that we talked about for like 30 seconds at the beginning of the year. He'll talk about it for like 5 minutes, and then we'll get sidetracked again for like 20 minutes. Even he's not like terribly invested. He's like, "Yeah, you guys probably got it."
You guys probably
We've taken
have it.
3 practice tests at this point, like just the multiple choice. We've done a few FR, like the extended response stuff, and like we graded ourselves. So obviously we're doing like, yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's all right.
close.
I passed that. Yeah, it's easy.
Honestly, if you get like over 70% of the multiple choice, you're already gonna pass anyways. So it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's
If you
exactly-
focus on
Doesn't matter.
terms alone, and like, so you have to know like 15 like Supreme Court cases, and they give it to you, like the ones you have to know, like as a study material, obviously not on the test, but like if you know those and like the basic concepts of them, which half of them are in the name, and then you know and then you can like get the multiple choice down, which is all basically just terms. You're set.
You're chilling.
You don't have to worry at all.
Like, I remember when I took the practice test for calc, like, at the back page, you calculate and add up your scores, and you have the multiple choice and the free response. I do the multiple choice, and it's like you get 1.2 points per one right, and I get like 27 right, so I think. So I calculated, and I got like 33 points, and you need like a 30 to pass already, and I'm like, let's go, just the multiple choice I pass. It's
Chilling.
going to be
Done.
easy.
I'm not even
It's-
grading the extended response.
Don't even have to.
You focus on the
Why
multiple
waste
choice,
time?
and that's
yeah.
the key.
Easy.
Speaking back to senioritis, though, senioritis hit so hard. Yes, last year for me.
Yes,
we hit
I can
quarantine.
attest
We
to
literally we hit. So quarantine hit.
It was before quarantine, Luke. You know
Come
it.
on.
We were playing hill climb racing in the psych room. You had millions of dollars. You went like 10,000 meters on beach and highway every day.
Every
hill
day
climb
that was
in the psych
thing.
room.
Whatever. I don't even care.
It's
I did
great.
not care. I was in study hall. Did not care. I think I honestly, if we were being real, I had hardcore senioritis after first quarter last year. When I realized I wasn't going to get a 3 or better on my AP English exam, that's when I was like, well, everything else for me
I'm
is
done.
cake.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's
just
fine.
here. I'm just chilling all day. Just kind of
When
hanging
was it?
out.
I had
whatever.
I had a on Snapchat how it's got like they're called flashbacks, like on this day last year.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I for like the memories, and I'm like, all right, I hardly ever look at them, but
Oh, I look at
looked
them every
this
day.
one today because it gave me like an actual notification on my phone, so I selected it. I looked at it, and it's a certain someone in the band room on a scooter, jumping like 3 people laying on.
Yes. I think you sent that to the group chat.
That
or
That was
something.
Devin,
I
wasn't
did.
it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Great.
Because you guys, it was
like
probably.
riding.
It was
Every-
like the
yeah.
suspected last day for seniors, so
It
we all
was.
got the
It
scooters
was.
in.
It
But,
was.
yeah.
It was.
ended up being.
And we were just yeeting scooters around.
Yep.
It lasted all about 2 periods.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the principal went over the loudspeaker and got all angry, even though
If you have a
obviously-
scooter, you got to bring it out and put it back in your
Your
car.
car, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Shut up.
looking at the flashback, he had good reason to do it.
Yeah, but he didn't
But-
see that. He didn't
No,
see
he
them
didn't
jumping
see that at
people.
all.
He didn't see that though. He just was like, "Well, we have a student uses crutches. Like, you guys get injured." Like, no one was actually like. Everyone was like everyone gives her a pretty big berth as it is.
Yeah.
Because she needs it.
Oh
but,
yeah, everyone was
Like
fine.
everything else was just screwing over everybody else.
Yeah,
so
it
why
was-
not? Did not care.
Did you guys end up having to do anything that day? Because I mean,
Yeah,
we
we
still
still-
had classes
Because
afterwards.
we still did like classwork, and we pretty much like got used to like how it online was going to be like. Pretty much, it's kind of like teachers told us how it was going to be, and I was like, first day of it happened, I was like, oh man, this is going to be so bad. I would do like my entire week's classwork in about 2 hours every day, and then I would just chill all week. I would just hang out at the house, you know, watch YouTube, hours on hours of
I
YouTube.
wish I could say I
everything.
did that, but I woke up every single day being like, "What do I got to do today?" That's about 2 hours. It's all due at 12. let's start at 10.
Yeah.
I got the whole day to do whatever I want as long as I start
See,
this at 10.
I
Start
would.
this by
and
10.
I
I
ended
would-
up starting at 11 every night.
I would have like a comfortable day. So I would like sleep in because I can.
Oh, you get up
whatever.
about 9:30.
Yeah,
10
exactly. 9:30, 9, 10 o'clock. That's sleeping in. I can't sleep in too much at all. But I get up around there, which is really comfortable.
Like, get up, watch
get up.
like 4 hours of TikTok.
Yeah, not that much. But I usually watch a little TikTok. And then I go and start my work. But like, because I'm at home, I get so sidetracked. Because I'll sit there with my phone scrolling TikTok while I'm supposed to be doing homework.
Or you're
so
on a
I'll
Zoom.
spend like an hour on TikTok and be like, oh wait, I gotta do homework for 5 minutes, and then go back. Or I'll have a YouTube video playing or a podcast, and I would just be listening to that. So I get so sidetracked. So I usually want to end to like about 4. So it would be like a full school day, but I get so sidetracked that half the
I would
time I
be
was
on
just
a
watching
Zoom
YouTube.
call for my AP English class, and I would be like sitting. I'd have it on mute, and I would still have my camera on, but I'd just be sitting there, like very clearly my phone was out, and I was scrolling Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Poppleman said nothing ever. She was just
Yeah.
like, Luke, are you ready to go for your test? It was like Cinco de Mayo. I went with James. I went with James and Luke to Taco Bell on Cinco de Mayo, and I had a Zoom call that day, like a mandatory Zoom call at like
Yeah.
noon. I was on the Zoom call while I was involved talking to my teacher, and I still had 5 days of school and my test to take.
There it is.
And then she went.
I knew we would
Life.
Oh.
So what?
It's just that's how it was. That's how it was the end of last year, the
going.
quarantine. So comfortable.
Yeah.
Isaiah had to leave. He has something going on, so we have an empty chair. So Luke's
rolled out.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy, man. Come on.
It's like it's his first time on the podcast or anything.
I'll make myself at home.
Stretched out,
It's
feet
the
up.
Midwest thing, just
Yeah.
make yourself at home. Why don't you?
That's right.
Got it.
Because we're still in my basement, just recording these podcasts each week.
Well, what do you want? You want me to build my barn dominium so I can have a
Dude,
studio in
We
there?
looked at a couple studios in here.
$500 a
I want
month.
to get a studio area. I think it would be cool.
It'd be
And
cool
we
if
could
we
go
had
to
like
video.
soundproofing.
Yeah. It wouldn't be hard. You just need a plain backdrop and then a few decorations behind.
What, we're going to start
Table.
YouTubing instead?
We can do both. You just film it and then
Oh, film as well?
yeah.
So
I
they
don't
see
know.
what you're doing around here.
Oh.
It's two and one.
Would have to actually look presentable.
Yeah, we would have to look nice
We'd
on
have
each
to
one
look a little bit
instead
better.
of just everyone coming disheveled and cut offs
Whatever.
and just
I look pretty
coming
good,
up,
don't I?
sitting in my basement.
Coming right after work. Coming right after
After
work.
work,
You're
yeah.
seeing a
After work.
cut off from home.
I have to go home, put my suit on,
Yeah, we'll have to.
dress up.
I got my
Sharp
sitting
dressed
on my
man.
chair still.
That's not good for it.
My
Get it
stuff's
all
on my
wrinkled.
floor still.
Whatever.
But so I want a few things I wanted to talk about, and it kind of relates to like business stuff. So I've been reading this book. It's called Focus for Success, a primer for entrepreneurs and business people, and it's written by James E. Eating, I think. He's the chairman at Midmark,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
around here. I forget where that's at, but whatever. So whenever I go, I read through it, and I always put a sticky note if like there's a good point that he makes, like some type of good quote or something important that I think this sounds pretty important, something I should learn.
Yeah.
And he talks about everything in here, like if
All
we
kinds
could,
of things.
yeah.
I'll open it up. Honestly, some of
We
my
got-
favorite quotes come out of my business law book right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Opportunities, buying and selling, entrepreneurs, investments, financial, board of directors, like everything there is to be about a business
to be
or whatever.
successful.
So I'll go ahead and just read through them. Let's take the first one. I think the first one was a good one. Yeah. So he's talking about like buying and selling,
Okay.
and like so this is just for like a merchandise business. You buy it, sell it, or whatever. You make a product, and he emphasizes how important it is about buying. How buying is really how you make your money, because you got to
You
get a
can't
good
sell
product.
something you don't have.
Right, and you got to make sure it's a good quality thing.
Yeah.
So he said, and also he's talking about how you should take your time and really think through it, not jump it, not just go to the cheapest thing, buy that. So he says, ask yourself, am I buying a problem or an opportunity? Remember, it's the second mouse that ends up getting the cheese from the trap. I read that and I'm like, that's actually something good to think about. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like before I do something, it's the second mouse that gets the cheese from the trap. So
Yeah, I really do like that.
there's a bunch of them. I always tell myself, like when I come home, like during school, like, because I have a few off classes, so I come home. I'm like, you know what? For this hour, my class off, I'm gonna read the book. I never do. I go on my phone. I always try to read it, but
TikTok,
I'm
every
like,
time.
I'm probably a third or fourth through.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good ones.
Quality.
Let's see if I can find another one. If you're going to bet on yourself, as you're fairly certain of the outcome if you work hard.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that before.
I've heard that from.
It's smart.
Too.
I mean, yeah.
You know what you're gonna get out of yourself. You don't know what you're gonna get out of other people.
Right. Let's see what else. But yeah, I don't know. I really like these business books.
I'm not into those really. I get a little bit out of it. I learned through doing though. Like if someone said that to me, like I would like that, but I'm more of a hands-on person. Yeah. I don't like to.
I don't like reading, but this book is cool, and I want to be an entrepreneur someday, so I thought it'd be good to read, and it is interesting.
Yeah.
Life is the greatest bargain. We get it for nothing.
I didn't ask for this.
All right, Luke.
Just turn that around. I didn't ask for this. I work 7 days a week. What are you talking about? Obviously, I'm rolling in stacks, but I work 7 days a week.
Another class all over again.
What do you mean?
Like freshman year. No, yeah, freshman year. Where all we did was look at old poems and like Shakespeare stuff.
That
Shakespeare's so
that was
bad.
dreadful. That
You
was
don't
awful.
understand what you're reading.
The
Don't care.
She's like, you read it. And she's like, oh yeah. What do you guys get from this? And it's
It's
you barely even
gibberish.
understand
I don't
it.
know what
gibberish.
he's supposed to be saying to begin with.
It's
It's like the Count of Monte Cristo too. It's like trying to read that. It
I've
was a
never
good book.
had-
Don't
I've
get
never
me wrong.
had to read that one.
Don't get me.
I think
we
that was,
had. Oh wow.
That might have been like an honors English or something class.
Well, we had to read it, and honestly, it was a good book. Don't get me wrong, but like if you weren't paying attention, like there was many a time that like I zoned out, and I was like, I got to go back and read like this 5-page segment again because I don't remember what it was happening. You got to keep track of it. Pretty hard, but
Yeah, I can do that while I'm reading. Like I'll be reading a book, and then like my brain will turn off, but like my eyes and like a part of my brain is still reading it and going through it, and then I'll realize all of a sudden like
crap.
I did not recollect any of that, and I have to go back, and I vaguely remember it, like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this stuff
some
reading
parts.
it, but it's weird.
If only you could open up 100% of your brain.
Yeah, I saw a video on that where people said like, always like we only use 5% of our brain.
It's
if
less
we
than
can-
that, I think.
But then I looked it up and I watched this video. I didn't look it up, but I saw the TikTok video where a dude's explaining it. He's like, well, that's actually wrong. We do use 100% of our brain, just not at full capacity. It's kind of like a car engine, but we're only pushing it to like 1,000 RPMs.
Idle. We're basically idling.
We're
through life.
idling. Yeah. We can't really push the pedal all the way down to get it to 7,000 RPMs or whatever. You know, it's not full go. But we are using 100% of it. It's just not
To best full capacity.
right.
As
We
efficient
could-
as it could be.
There's a lot of TV shows and movies about that, about like some certain person that's reached like 70% of their brain or whatever you want to say.
Or
like,
honestly,
higher.
if you just seen like any TV show that involves anyone with a high IQ, anyone with above an IQ of like 130 is legally considered a
I
genius.
think so. It's something like that.
Like, have you ever watched the show Scorpion? It was about a guy and a bunch of other really smart people. Like, he had like a 203 IQ though. It was all based on real life events, but like he had a 203 IQ, and he was just ridiculous. He could do all sorts of things all at the same time, et cetera, et cetera. But you know,
I'm about there. I'm pretty close.
oh yeah, I think I'm like 196 or something like that.
Give him a few more business books and he'll get
Yeah,
A
exactly.
few more business books, you know.
and he'll reach that standard.
Next Bill Gates right here sitting next to us.
Say,
I just wanted enough money to build my barn dominium.
Yeah, you've been talking a lot about that.
It's such a
barn
great
dominium.
idea. It's
I-
such a genius, like well played. It's easy to save money. Like you only average like $70 a square foot, and you know a house averages like $120 a square foot to construct, versus and then like 70 is like nothing in comparison.
Yeah.
so you want a house barn. Is that
No,
what
it's
a
a barn
barn
dominium. Yeah, it's
So
a
it's
house
a barn
barn.
dominium.
I prefer barn dominium. I like that name.
Let's say
out
you
better.
said like barn dominium. I'm like, what is a barn dominium? And
well,
then you're like, oh.
condominium with a barn and a barn. So barn dominium.
Those are pretty nice.
I have seen a couple, and they are really nice, and they seem like a bargain because they
Yeah, they are a bargain.
People say you can get it for so cheap, you can get huge,
you can make huge living spaces, huge storage
square
spaces.
footage, and you have it all attached, and they look really nice, and they're really cheap. It's like, might as well. I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad idea.
It's not traditional, but you
Yeah.
know, it's definitely a good idea. And it gives you so much space to do things. You can do things like if you built a super large garage, like my idea is like to rent out to people, build extra garage space, and then rent out like 40-foot sections for parking boats, campers, whatever, storage. And my idea behind that is to make enough money in rent every month that I don't have to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
And then I'm living for free.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
basically get my land, my barn, everything for free.
That's
That's my goal.
that's ROI on the T. Which
Yeah.
I think I learned from this book. It's
ROI.
return on investment.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did learn that
Yeah.
somewhere along the line. I was like, what? Yeah, return on investment.
That's the biggest thing is return on investment.
It's the hardest thing to find too.
Yeah, that would be sick if you could.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's
Someone pay the
honestly my
mortgage.
idea. I want to do about 100 by my goal. My dream, if I came into a little extra money to start construction, anyways, would be I would have about 100 by an 80 shop if I could, and that would be. Then I could do just about whatever else I wanted to on top of that.
You guys done with the podcast?
No.
Ah, jeez.
I forget where we were at. Oh yeah, we were talking about
Barndo's.
all a bunch of finances, which is actually another,
Finances.
which is what we have on this paper. We
Whoa,
have Luke.
that's me.
Finances, because I remember this one time at a scout campfire, Luke started going on because he was just starting to get into investing and stuff. And I remember you were talking to us about quite a bit of that stuff. So we're like, maybe we'll have him on. But you
Yeah.
were talking about it's like Roth IRAs that you
Roth
have
IRAs,
open,
yep.
which I have been hearing all
Regular
of a sudden
stocks,
like a lot lately.
yeah, it's kind of I kind of got in ahead of the storm of them, but there's just so many great benefits. Roth IRAs are if you're listening and you're like a 16, 17, you have a full-time job or even a part-time job and you have extra money to set aside, ask your parents to let you open a Roth IRA. It's non-taxed until you turn 65 and a half, I believe, and on anything. Like, so it's basically free money there. And
Which, yeah, I think
I
it's
mean-
actually a pretty high interest rate too.
well, it's still based on like stocks and stuff like that.
Oh,
too.
is it?
Yeah, so money you put in is still
Oh,
based
I
on.
thought it was
like,
more like a CD almost.
No,
like,
no,
or
no,
like a
no,
savings
no.
account. Oh,
no,
really?
No. So it's still like you still own stocks, but you don't get to choose what stocks they are. Like usually, like I have my financial investment guy. He will pretty much. I give him money, and you max out like $6,000 a year. You can
Yeah,
add on
that's-
into it,
I think that's the max
so you
out.
don't like overuse the system there a little
Right.
bit, which kind of sucks. But you get to, but he'll do whatever pretty much, and you just
He'll
build
take
that
care of it
growth,
for
build
you.
that equity, build that growth, all that. I mean, there's no cap on how much you can make in a year,
Yeah.
et cetera. There's only a cap on how much you can put in. And currently, I'm maxed out for the year, and it's only the fourth month.
Yep.
Middle of the fourth month, I'm maxed for the year already.
Yeah,
So I
that's
have
nice.
money. I'm sitting on like 10K and other stocks. I think I got like 20 shares of Apple. I got two other ones, and I don't remember the ones, but Apple's the big one. I was like, I think that one's gonna boom again this year sometime.
I wanted to get into like investing.
When you have just a little bit, it doesn't take much.
right,
Here's the one big thing I learned from business math when I took business math here for college is if you're going to invest, be investing in the beginning of the month. If you are like your guy, if you ever have like a financial investor and you're not doing it yourself, he'll ask you, oh, when can I withdraw this money? Say the first day of the month that you can, the soonest beginning, whatever. Because I don't have my calculator because I lent it to someone else to do which I gave to somebody to do accounting, and I used the same calculator for that or whatever. But the difference is astronomical. Like over the course of 30 years of investing and putting money away, even if you just started at 20, which I started at 19, but like even if you just started at 20, over the course of 30 years, the difference between investing at the beginning of the month versus the end of the month can be in the neighborhood of $1 million, depending on how much you're putting in. $1 million is a lot of money.
it is.
Like right now in
A
this
lot
day
you
of
can do
age,
with
like you can do a lot. I mean, small town USA, you're small town rich right there. $1 million. You have $1 million, you got a lot of money around here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I don't think I can emphasize that point enough.
I've seen stuff like that too, where it's like a chart of like starting early. Like if you start at 20
Versus
or if you start
30.
like yeah, or even
Even
25, you make like
5 years is a long time.
you make like almost
Especially
close to $1 million more
Add
just for
difference.
starting
especially
5
with
years earlier.
like
Just
compound interest,
Compounding.
it
It's
is.
just getting in early, like
insane.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot this book is also teaching me about like investments where it says if you're on time with the mob, you're late.
You're late. Yeah.
You're late.
You got to be ahead of the
You
curve.
have to be early.
You have to be ahead of the curve. It's the same thing with all these cryptocurrencies.
Yep.
Like you need to be sort of ahead of the curve. Like people who are on the ahead of the curve on Bitcoin, just like a
Yeah.
pretty broad one. Obviously, that was
Even Dogecoin.
even Dogecoin. But that's kind of a fluke in the market. Dogecoin it's basically
it
like
started off as a joke.
It
The
was a
biggest
joke.
joke.
Yeah, it
'cause
was
it's
just a-
Dogecoin.
it
and
was
people
like
just
me-
started buying it,
See,
and
it
then
was
it
like a
just
meme of-
skyrocketed in
Yeah.
value.
It was a meme of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I
and
saw-
now people are making a lot of money off it now. It's
I
a real
saw a
thing.
TikTok. So last year, when the quarantine started, someone got their first stimulus, and they spent it all on Dogecoin. They had like 300,000 shares of
Yeah,
Dogecoin.
because it's like 0.00001 cents.
Yeah,
or whatever.
he bought it at like that price. He sold it at 0.004 cent, and he made like $1,400 on
Oh,
his
yeah.
money. He was like, "Oh man, I'm rich. I made a lot of money. $1,400 is a lot of money to make in a stock market."
It is.
Current, Dogecoin went up to what?
40 cents.
40 cents a
Yeah.
share.
If you would have bought
If
it,
he would have held on to that,
That
he would
is-
have been a multi-millionaire.
That's what the thing
he
is.
held so many shares.
That's what it all is now. I see people like TikToks, a bunch of stories are like, even people have Bitcoin early. Bitcoin at some point, not that long ago, was at
Nothing.
like 2 cents. It's at 35, like that, or it's spiked.
60.
Is
It's
it
$60,000
It
a share.
It went back
It's
up. It's 60. Yeah.
$1,000 a share.
It is crazy. How
There's somebody
people-
out there who's sitting on $200 billion in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
$200 billion. Instantly, he'd be one of the richest people on the earth. If
Yeah.
he only has one chance to unlock that. It has on like a hard drive somewhere, and he only has one more chance to unlock it unless it deletes it.
Yeah.
$200 billion.
I've seen plenty of stories where people talk about
The guy
how,
in
like,
Florida who gave like 40 or 50 Bitcoin for a pizza.
I did see that.
In like 2012.
Yeah, I think there's a YouTube channel, Nelk, who they bought a yacht with Bitcoin, I think, but
Might as well.
that's
I mean,
besides the point.
why not?
I've
But
seen that.
I've seen plenty where people talk about how they bought some type of crypto, not that long ago, or a stock,
Mm-hmm.
and then like a little bit later they sold it and they made a good profit. They like doubled their money.
Pretty
But if they would have held on to it now, they would have
Been filthy
been
rich.
millionaires. They would have multiplied how much they put in by millions.
Okay, so one of the people I work with, he is a stock fanatic. The man is truly he's rich. He's got all the money in the world. He doesn't need to be working. He doesn't need to have as many rental properties as he does anymore. He's, 60s. 60s, almost 70, I think, something like that. He day trades. Okay, he swings with $100,000 if he decides to sell or buy something. He does it in the $100,000 range. He does it on the daily. He says one thing he says all the time is, if you're gonna play in the stocks, you got to be ready to lose it all or win it all. You can't be any of this half send BS. You have to be ready to lose it all in search of that bigger, wealthier, that bigger hit. Like, there's no point. Don't be scared. Like, especially with that guy who got it's $1,400 of stimulus money. Like, you probably didn't need stimulus money. Like, if you're spending it on stocks anyways, so why not hold out and see what happens? Because more than likely, it's not going to go back down or to lower than what you paid for it.
Dave Portnoy says that stocks, they always go up. Isn't that what he said?
Almost always. Stocks will almost always go up. So if you hold on to a stock right now and you're like, oh, it's kind of expensive for the market. If you hold on to the stock for 10 years, it's going to be,
Who
you
knows?
basically owning it for nothing then.
Yeah.
If it's, $500 a share and you bought it at $20 a share, you made a lot of money on your shares there.
That's the thing with, I think all three of us are in the B coin or the B network, which
B
is
network.
it's a cryptocurrency, but it's worth like nothing.
It's
right
not even on the market.
Yeah, it's not even on the market, but we get an app where it's just free. You press
It's
it once
free
a day,
mining.
it mines, and then you get so many Bitcoins. It rewards you, and then we're just sitting here. It's free right now, but who knows? In the
It's free
future,
too.
you get
Free
enough
to mine.
people and enough time.
So it's over 10 million users right now. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Yep.
we just got our second 50% rate cut, or
Yeah.
almost the second to last one. So the next one, we go down to 0.1 B an hour, making at 100 million users. And
Which
then
even like, I'm at I think over 1,000. You're
I have
probably-
1958 right now.
I just got over 1,000 too.
So literally, if that becomes half a cent, even
Even
like
half
lower,
a cent,
that's
that'll be.
still,
Or
that's
if you
still
hold on to
money.
it for longer.
Yeah.
Then like
Yeah.
if we have like 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 shares by the time it hits the market and you can't mine it anymore.
Yeah. But even
Hold on to it.
Even if it's worth, like you said, like 1 cent, and you make like what, $20 off at 2,000.
It's worth
$0.01.
worth your
that's-
time.
$20. I have to go on an app and
Once a
press
day.
a button
Once a day.
It takes 2 seconds.
2 seconds, press button,
That's
go.
what, like,
That's
when-
free money.
Like everyone, when you put on your story, then I got into it. Or Devin, we were on COD and you told me.
yeah,
about
we
it.
were on God. Like,
No,
yo, guys,
don't
download
get this
this.
thing.
He told me to download
Yeah,
it. I was signing
as
up
I was,
for it.
As I knew he was downloading, signing up for it,
He's
I was
like-
like, "Yo, guys, download this app right now. Might as well. They're talking about this."
And I'm literally like, I'm signing
Sure.
up for it right now. He's like, oh, put my code in. So I put your code in. And I got a whole bunch of people on it, all our friends. Everyone used to do it all the time.
No,
And
no
now-
one no one does.
Yeah,
it
no one
anymore.
does it anymore. I'm
Presses
like,
it.
I'm like,
I
why
know.
would-
I have a
like,
few
why-
friends that I'm like yelling at, like, press the button.
I'm
it's
like, why
once a
would you
day.
do
And
that?
they're
He's
like,
like, it might not trend anything. I'm like, you're spending
Yeah.
2 seconds of your life
Yeah,
pressing
right.
one button. And
it's like
there's
you're
a
on your
chance.
phone
So
on
what?
TikTok for hours. Can't you spend
Half a second.
5 seconds?
Press that, you get the notification, swipe it, and press it,
Exactly.
and leave again.
Right.
It does work. It does all the work for you. It's the same thing as like those Bitcoin miners. You can buy like a whole shipping container of Bitcoin mining computers,
Yeah.
and they pay for themselves over the course of like a week. They pay for what you pay for it. But you know,
I guess people don't. I don't believe in it, but
Some you
crypto
gotta have
is the future.
little bit of
which
faith.
we plan on doing a. Me and Jacob been talking about a whole podcast about crypto and
Mm-hmm.
NFTs and kind of like that area because we know it. We think we know a decent amount about it, and we want to talk about it. And it's really cool stuff.
That's what we're doing right now too. We're playing like a stock market game in our engineering class where
In
like, market
engineering?
watch. Yeah,
I've did it before in a macroeconomics class.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it actually is. It's really fun. But like I think the hit or misses are always IPOs, if you know what that is, I'm guessing. Like initial like I don't even know what it stands for. It's like when the business opens on the stock market, like when they're open to trading, like the first day.
what's it going to get to?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So like we went in with what was that?
20 grand maybe?
No, what was the yeah, we went in with like 100,000, I think is
Wow.
what he gave us, but
Like fake money.
I forget
Yeah,
what
it's
the
just fake
I forget
complaint.
what the company was, but it started out at $250 a share. Literally 20 minutes later, it's $380 after opening, or $420. I think it reached $430, but we sold it like $390. But it reached that in like 20 minutes. So if you do that, you're made
Yeah, if
God
you're a
knows
venture,
how much money in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean venture capitalism is still a huge thing. Like if you have the money to throw into random ventures, like do it. Like if you think it might have any sort of a chance of taking off, send it. The worst case you're out is a little bit of money, and best case scenario you become a millionaire. You make good money on it.
That's crazy. You really just hit one thing, and you make $200,000,
You could.
$400,000
You never know what it might turn into.
in 20 minutes. You don't have to work the rest of the year at that point. You're
Yeah.
just chilling.
You're just chilling if you want to, or you just keep working and keep on that grind. You know,
That's
you
why-
we can't retire at 45 if you don't keep working.
Yeah, that's why day trading is so intriguing almost, where like if you know what you're doing
If you
and like
don't,
know
though.
like yeah, if you don't you're
If you know the
but
algorithm,
if you know
and,
like what to do, like when it goes up and when it goes down, you're on your computer in the morning for 20
A few
minutes.
20,
And
30
if
minutes,
you're
an
like
hour.
you hit your ratio, you make like, oh, I made $200 today.
grand.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Sure.
Yeah,
Just
you're
hold
done.
on to whatever we got
Yep.
for the rest of the day.
Close your laptop and you can go do
Go do
whatever.
whatever.
yeah.
If you have other stuff or you have like an actual job or like just stuff and you're done.
Yeah.
You made your money.
9:30, the market opens. Hang out till like maybe 10 o'clock. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we did pretty good. Let's go do some other
It
shit.
spiked, now it's going back down, you sold and you're good. You're done. You can do whatever now.
That's something I've been wanting to get into is Robinhood. Like,
Robin Hood's kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah, I've heard
It's-
Robinhood is really bad.
well, I think it was just because of that one big.
It's a pretty big
Ga-
incident.
That GameStop incident thing.
It's a pretty big
but
incident.
it's like Apple though. They make it so easy and user friendly and easy to use, and
Yeah,
you can
where it's
just
just a click
start
of a
off
button.
right away. You just
Boom.
have to sign up, and you
Yeah.
can start.
And they give you
doing
free
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
stock.
give you a free stock and
Yeah.
it gets everyone.
Oh my
might
gosh,
as well
you can
create
live
a
to
account.
$400. Woo!
Except
Okay.
it's always nothing.
But ever since
Nothing.
that GameStop incident, where they, I think from my understanding, obviously there's that big incident.
Yeah.
Where obviously the GameStop went up
Random.
to screw over a bunch of brokers and on Wall Street or whatever.
Yeah, hedge
but
fund
then
managers.
a bunch of people on Robinhood wanted to sell. because it's up high, let's
Yeah.
sell, make a bunch of money. But because Robinhood is like the app they're going through, technically like Robinhood owns the app
Yeah.
or owns the stock. So really Robinhood is just giving them so they can prevent people from
From-
selling
And that's
or
kind of,
or limit them, like no, you can only sell one share
yeah.
because you can't do this because then you'll make a bunch of money, and we want to.
We want to.
They can control it basically,
want it.
which is the sucky part.
Yeah.
Instead of just going straight off the market or whatever.
Pretty sure they did the same thing with Dogecoin. They took it off for a while
Probably.
when it went up to like 40 cents or whatever. When it spiked up, they took it off for a while.
big hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Big
it kind of
hit.
just slowed it down a lot.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that people can control currencies and stuff like that, but
That's kind of the problem out there, but
I guess that's kind of the part of the deal when you sign up.
yeah.
They own the stocks really, and you're
And
just
that's
buying
why
it from them.
therein lies the benefit of going through a money manager or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a true where you truly
Or
you're
get
buying the
some
stock.
licensed.
A licensed
straight off
financial
the
manager,
market,
yeah.
right.
Edward Jones, XYZ, PDQ, whatever. I know I use Edward Jones, but that's
But
just
hey,
a
if you
personal
sign
thing.
up, you get a free stock.
But a free
Sounds like
stock,
a steal to
man.
me.
I don't know.
Sounds like a steal.
I'm downloading it now.
Our
right
tea-
now.
Our teacher signed up for Robinhood, so because that's the only place that you could like sell or get Dogecoin. So he bought
Yeah.
Dogecoin when it was 12 cents, I think. Because we were talking about it in our class, and he's like, maybe this could work. So he bought it 12 cents, and it's up 40 or whatever now.
Yeah.
So like he still made a good profit, but he went on Robinhood and literally got the
Screwed
$5 stock or whatever. Literally looks back like 2 minutes later, it's down to like it went down like half of what it was worth when he got it. I'm like, so useful.
Very. Thank you, Robin Hood.
Well, I guess that about wraps up the episode.
For the day.
I'm not sure what time we're at. Yeah, it's probably about time that we wrap it up.
Maybe a little short, but we're missing people.
Yeah, got a new guest.
New
Well,
guest?
I should be back. Well, I don't know.
I just love the way.
Lost people.
Who we missing again?
Well,
Isaiah,
I don't
obviously,
know.
obviously Isaiah, but I feel like there was someone.
There's somebody else, but-
No, because I think he never talks. That
Oh.
dude, that last
Yeah,
dude
just-
never
He
talks.
just sits there.
Yeah, he's.
I love the way he says this because he's never been on here. He has no clue. He's like, yeah, we're missing people. Like he knows everyone that's here. The way Luke says it.
Well, I mean, he does.
I'm basically a founder. I mean,
As, if you were here, you could just
First
see Luke
episode.
just sitting here like owning the place.
He
just-
does. He just came on. He's relaxed, chilling out.
we're chilling, bro.
Yeah, we're missing people. I'm like,
There's not that
I'm
many
just
people
here
here
laughing.
anymore. You know.
He tries to fire me next.
Yeah.
Devin,
Devin,
don't come back to your own house next week. Just let us into your basement. Stay
You're out.
upstairs.
You're
next,
out.
next week you're seeing your room. You just hear people talking in your basement. You're like, what is going on? You see us doing a podcast about you.
What is going on here? Oh, we forgot to tell you, you're fired.
We
You're
don't
fired
need
as
you
host of the
anymore.
show
Yeah, Jacob's gonna be so mad though tomorrow.
when he listens to it.
Yep. All right. Thank you all for listening to I forget what episode again, but whatever
8?
episode this
I
is,
think
8 or
it's
9 episode of
8.
Speaking Sporadically. Same time next week.
Peace.
Peace. Oh, jinx.